Spider-Man No Way Home featured so many callbacks and Easter eggs to the entirety of the Spider-Man saga that even superfans of the series are still finding new things upon rewatching the film. While there's plenty of details you might have caught yourself, we'll be looking at the more obscure nods within the movie that only those with a keen eye can spot.
Do I know you?
What have you done with my machine?
Your machine. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. What machine?
Welcome to The Rewind. In this video, we'll be counting down the top 10 things you definitely missed in Spider-Man No Way Home. Before we begin, make sure to give this video a like and hit the subscribe button for good luck. Spoiler warning if you haven't watched the film already. Number 10. Doctor Strange's college days.
That feels weird, but I'll allow it.
In the scene where Peter meets with Doctor Strange for the first time, Doctor Strange can be seen wearing a Columbia University sweatshirt underneath his coat. Most people would pass this off as Doctor Strange just keeping himself warm. After all, his place is covered in snow, so his attire would make complete sense. What people probably didn't know was the fact that Doctor Strange has this sweatshirt because he attended Columbia University as shown in the comics. Number 9. Tobys' back problem.
You okay?
My back. It's kind of stiff from all the swinging, I guess.
Oh yeah, no, I got a middle back thing too.
Really?
Yeah.
It's no secret that Tobey's departure from Spider-Man in the late 2000s led to many people speculating what could have pushed him away from the role. During production of the original Spider-Man trilogy films, Tobey had to perform a lot of the stunts on his own, resulting in a lot of back problems. They poke fun at this in No Way Home, where Tobey's Peter Parker mentions having issues with his back before Andrew Garfield's Peter helps sort it out for him. This may also be a callback to a scene in Spider-Man 2 where Peter attempts to jump across buildings only to collapse and hurt his back in the film.
My back. Oh, my back.
Number 8. MJ's teased fall. We all know the scene where MJ falls near the end of the film. It's meant to mirror the scene where Gwen falls in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, playing out as a way for Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man to ease his regrets after failing to save Gwen. What you might not know is that this fall was most likely already teased in the beginning of the film. Right after Peter scoops MJ and swings away from the angry crowd of people who now know his true identity, the two of them land on top of the Queensboro Bridge. This is the same bridge that the Green Goblin dropped MJ from in the original live-action film, foreshadowing MJ's potential fall, or at least implanting the thought in our minds to prepare us for the worst.
Dude! 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 Dude!
Number 7. Original quote.
Remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
Before Aunt May's tragic death, she utters to Peter the famous quote, "With great power, there must also come great responsibility." You might say this is a callback to what Uncle Ben says to Peter in the Tobey Maguire film and call it a day, but the quote goes deeper than that. If you notice the slight rewording of the quote, there's a reason for that. It's the exact wording used for the quote in the original comics. Number 6. Lego Death Star. During one of the scenes where Peter and Aunt May eagerly wait for Peter's acceptance letters, Peter can be seen building a Lego Death Star, the same one Ned was building in Spider-Man Homecoming when Peter was, well, coming home. There was also the Lego Sith at the end of No Way Home, after everyone forgot about Peter Parker's existence, which was another nod to a scene in Homecoming, where Ned invites Peter to build the Lego Death Star using the same figure.
Join me and together we'll build my new Lego Death Star.
What?
So lame.
No way, that's awesome. How many pieces?
Number 5. Third installment of The Amazing Spider-Man. As a lot of you already know, The Amazing Spider-Man is the only live-action adaptation that hasn't received its own third film. A slight nod to this hypothetical third Amazing Spider-Man installment came in the form of a license plate of all things. When Peter made his way through the highway traffic to find the MIT Vice Chancellor, the license plate reads 63ASM3, which is directly referring to the third issue of the Amazing Spider-Man comic released in 1963. The 63 being the year it was released, ASM being the acronym for Amazing Spider-Man, and 3 being the comic book issue number.
Okay, Peter 1, Peter 2. Peter 2. Peter 3. All right, let's do this. Ready? Wait.
Number 4, game tie-in.
Why don't you start just by getting comfortable with the place? Meet a few people. You know what? Everybody loves coffee.
Coffee? All right.
In No Way Home, when Aunt May is visited by Dr. Osborn at her job, we can see Aunt May works at Feast, a homeless shelter taken straight out of Marvel's Spider-Man video games. In the game's continuity, Miles Morales also volunteers there. Number 3, Miles Morales teaser. Speaking of Miles Morales, towards the end when Andrew Garfield's Peter is talking to Max after he's cooled off, Max mentions how he always thought Spider-Man would be black. He then follows up by saying that there's probably a black Spider-Man out there, a clear hint at Miles Morales appearing in the MCU. During Spider-Man Homecoming, there was another reference to Miles after Peter interrogates Prowler in a parking lot. Not only does he blatantly say he has a nephew that lives there, but he even refers to Miles by name over the phone in a deleted scene.
Yeah, sorry, Miles. I'm not gonna make it. Yeah, I'm just stuck.
Number 2, Ned Could Die to Peter.
So, do you have a best friend too? I did.
We all know that Spider-Man doesn't aim to kill people, not even villains. Even when Peter wanted to kill Osborn in No Way Home, it's thankfully stopped by Tobys Peter just in the nick of time. In one scene, Peter, MJ, and Ned discover that Tobey's Spider-Man dealt with his best friend, Harry, betraying him and dying. Ned noticeably looks worried, considering he's also Peter's best friend, and most likely wants to avoid a similar fate. Most fans consider this moment to be a hint alluding to Ned's comic book trajectory, where he's thought to be Hobgoblin.
And I promise you, I won't turn into a supervillain and try to kill you. Okay.
Number 1, Spider-Man pointing meme.
Oh, sorry.
Did you mean that?
Or
Peter.
we're all called
Peter Parker.
Same again. We're all Peter Parker.
We all know the popular Spider-Man meme where Spider-Man and a doppelganger are pointing at each other. This was somewhat recreated with the 3 variants of Spider-Man in the scene where they're all in the science classroom. When Ned calls over to Peter, all 3 of them look up, confused as to which Peter Ned was referring to, followed by them pointing at each other, similar to the popular image. What do you think of our list? Before you leave, don't forget to give this video a like and leave your thoughts in the comments below. Check out these other videos from the Rewind, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss another video again.